I used to believe lies were loud, that they arrived with warning signs, sweaty palms, stuttering voices, suspicious glances. I thought deception announced itself so clearly that only foolish people missed it. I believed love came with protection, that when you truly loved someone, your heart would somehow shield you from being destroyed by them. I was painfully wrong. Because the most dangerous lies don't shout. They whisper. They sound like reassurance. They look like consistency. They show up as good morning texts, shared meals, gentle apologies, and carefully crafted promises. They feel like safety. This is the story of how I fell in love with a man who was never who he claimed to be. How I trusted someone who built an entire relationship on omissions and half-truths. How love slowly turned into chaos. And how the truth, when it finally came, left nothing standing. I met Elowen Maria Hale at a time when my life was quiet but fragile, like glass that hadn't shattered yet but already carried cracks. I had just moved to a new city, chasing independence after a long, unremarkable relationship that ended without fireworks or closure. I wanted something different, something real. Elowen entered my life on a Tuesday afternoon at a small independent bookstore cafe tucked between a tailor shop and a florist. She was arguing with the barista about oat milk foam, laughing at herself, unapologetically present. She had a way of making ordinary moments feel intentional. We started talking without effort, about books, about cities we'd loved and cities we'd escaped, about how adulthood felt like pretending most of the time. She told me her name was Elowen, rare, lyrical, unforgettable. I told her mine was Kylam Reese Arden. That was the first lie. Elowen and I fell into something comfortable almost immediately. She was thoughtful in ways that surprised me. She remembered details. She listened closely. She believed people were mostly good, even when evidence suggested otherwise. I let her believe the version of me I'd perfected over the years. Kylam Arden, freelance logistics consultant, remote contracts, flexible travel, no close family ties. A clean narrative. Minimal questions. The truth was messier. My real name was Rowan Calder Voss, and I was running. Lies don't begin big. They begin as adjustments. I didn't set out to deceive Elowen. At least, that's what I told myself. I was already living under an assumed identity when we met. I told myself I'd explain eventually. Eventually never came. Because love arrived faster than courage. Elowen made space for me in her life with frightening ease. Sunday mornings, shared grocery lists, toothbrush left at her apartment. I told myself I was protecting her from a past she didn't need to know. I told myself the truth would only hurt her. I told myself I deserved a second chance. What I didn't tell myself was that I was stealing her ability to choose. Years before Elowen, my life imploded. Gambling debts, a failed startup, the wrong people. By the time I realized how deep I was, it was too late. Threats followed me home. Phone calls in the middle of the night. Warnings disguised as advice. I panicked. And I made the worst decision of my life. I disappeared. With help I shouldn't have accepted, I staged a fatal car accident outside a small coastal town. A burned-out vehicle. Dental records altered. A body no one questioned too closely. Rowan Calder Voss died on paper. My parents buried an empty coffin. My sister collapsed at the graveside. And I watched none of it. Elowen loved deeply and openly. She spoke about the future as if it were a shared project. Trips she wanted us to take. A house with mismatched furniture. Children someday. Each dream tightened the knot in my chest. I wanted that life. I just didn't know how to exist inside it without destroying everything. So I kept lying. Phones turned face down. Documents locked away. A calendar built on deception. Every day I lived in fear of being exposed. And every night I told myself tomorrow I would tell her. I proposed because I was terrified of losing her. Not because I was ready. The ring felt like both a promise and a trap. Elowen said yes with tears in her eyes. I smiled while my hands shook. Love should never feel like impending doom. But mine did. Planning a wedding magnifies everything. Paperwork. Legal names. Family involvement. Every form felt like a landmine. I avoided details, delayed decisions, redirected conversations. Elowen noticed. She didn't accuse. She asked gently. That made it worse. She was creating a wedding slideshow. Just childhood photos. Just nostalgia. So she Googled me. Or rather, she Googled Kylam Reese Arden. Nothing came up. She tried again. And again. Then she searched variations. And somehow, through a trail of old records and cached pages, she found it. Rowan Calder Voss. Died. Age 34. Automobile accident. My death. When Lowen showed me the obituary, I felt something inside me finally break. She expected laughter. A coincidence. Instead, I went cold. I faked my death, I whispered. The silence that followed was unbearable. I told her everything. The debts. The fear. The funeral. The family I abandoned. I watched her face change with every word. Grief. Shock. Disbelief. Then devastation. Lowen didn't scream. She didn't cry at first. She asked one question. Did you ever plan to tell me? I had no answer. Because the truth was, no. Not until I was forced. She gave me one night. 1. I didn't sleep. In the morning, she told me she loved me. And that she was leaving. Because love without truth is manipulation. I contacted my family. My mother fainted when she heard my voice. My father didn't speak for weeks. My sister screamed. I deserved every second of it. Therapy is slow. Rebuilding trust, with myself, slower. Lowen never came back. She shouldn't have. This love story was built on a lie. And lies don't collapse quietly. They take everything with them. If you are living a double life, stop. If something feels wrong, listen. Love should never require erasing yourself. Or someone else.